And it's my pleasure to introduce to you your president, Clinton Perry.
Well, good evening. As you've been told, my name is Clinton Perry Jr., County Commissioner of Taylor County, and your president. And certainly, being in this room tonight brings back a lot of fun memories. This is a place, Magnolia Room, where we shared a lot of great meals together. And this is a place where I was able to form a lot of personal and professional relationships with my classmates and colleagues throughout the state of Georgia. I think that led to my ultimate development as a county commissioner. So certainly, I'm honored to be in your presence tonight. It was never my intent, I don't think, to ever be the president, but there were forces of nature that led me to this point. I think that my good friend Laura has not told you the whole story. I am a state prison warden, so if I stare at you, don't be offended because you look like someone I might have seen at one time. The other side of my interesting story is I'm a third-generation funeral director and mortician, proudly. Larry Felton for Chris County knows me very well. So I'm a very affectionate person. So if I pull you to me and I shake your hand, I'm trying to figure out how many heartbeats you have left, as well as your blood pressure, because I'm always looking for business. And I was reminded today by a good friend of mine, a staff member, Steve Vaughn. He said, Clint, he said, you know what? He said, you know, I thought about you the other day. It seems like all year long since you became the president, county commissioners have been dying. And he says, do you think maybe your relationship as a funeral director and then you being the president of the association has to do with death in the association? I said, well, yeah, since I became a county commissioner, my caseload has really gone up a lot. So I've heard somebody say you can't get rich off of your position as a county commissioner. Go in the funeral director's business. You'll get plenty of it. So with that being said, I just want to say just again how grateful I am to be here in this position. And let's give yourselves a hand because I think it's important that we celebrate each other right now because trust me, after tonight and you go back to your respective communities, there won't be many applause for you anymore. So enjoy one another while you can. Certainly, I just want to say that it was, through your hard work and dedication that led you to this point. And I think that my good friend Kathy Cox said it best, that now that you've become a public figure, that it's going to be imperative that you know that you're going to be in a very unique position now. You're now going to be the person that folks look to solve their problems, help them, be accessible to them. I said in my inaugural speech as a president that I thank my wife for her understanding because it was many nights that I learned in my process of trying to become an effective public servant that there were nights I had to get out of bed and go see about people whose houses burned down, who were in distress. And you're going to find yourself in that position as well. And so with that being said, I just want to say that you're in a very unique position. And my mother once told me that there's no greater honor than to be a servant. And certainly that's what you've chosen to be tonight on your journey here to this point. You're going to be a public servant, a servant of the people. And enjoy it while you can because I can just tell you it's been 8 years now that I've been a public servant. And those years have gone fast. And I've seen some of my colleagues that I came into this business with who have moved on. And they start to reflect about how time passes and how important it is that you enjoy every moment, even those challenging moments that you're going to find yourself in. Because as Kathy Cox said again, that sometimes politics are driven by party affiliations. But it's in our best interest to do what we're supposed to do for the people that we serve. And I hope that you took something out of that message about that. And let me say this, let me encourage you to embrace our association. Take advantage of the learning experiences that you're going to be now able to take advantage of. Carl Vinson Institute and ACCG have been a lockstep. It was through my time here at this campus, the University of Georgia, our flagship institution, where my development occurred. SIMSOC, the basic training. It was where I met my mentor, Ross King, out there. Let's give Ross a hand, because it's people like Ross King, Laurel Meadows, and others that have helped me, I think, to a certain degree in my life to understand how important it is that you be well equipped to deal with the complex issues and the situations that you will be faced with very soon. And I know many of you probably ran on the issue saying that you would solve those issues. But I can just tell you, it was in this complex, in this very room here, where I was able to discuss my issues with my fellow commissioners and take back some very profound answers and strategies that helped me to move my county forward. When I was elected as a county commissioner, my county seen an entire change in leadership, from the sheriff to other constitutional officers to the full board. And that was very profound. But it was through the efforts of these two organizations, ACCG and the Carl Vinson Institute of Government, that helped me and my fellow commissioners, all of us, to get certified, but most of all, to give us the tools in our toolbox that we need to be effective. And so don't go back, because there will be colleagues on your board who have been around a long time that don't understand or don't appreciate training and that don't want to embrace change. And you must do that in order to be effective, because people expect us to be problem solvers. They expect us to know the answers. And one of the greatest sins is to come here to the training and not take it back and use it to the best of your ability. So please, as your president, I'm saying to you, as your colleague, to do that. Also, I encourage you to take advantage of the vast resources. Our association is the voice that we as county commissioners have at the General Assembly. It's through the efforts of our staff, where every year or every 2 years we draft up a very profound, progressive platform that promotes the interests of the counties. And I cannot tell you, press upon you, how important it is that you get actively engaged in the association. What does that mean? That means that when you finish here today, go back, ask your county managers and your board to get you signed up for training. Get on these committees. We have 7 standing committees, very strong committees. Find your interests: public safety and the courts, transportation and economic development, health and human services. We all have an interest, and we all ran on one of those issues. And it's important that you get engaged, because the association needs you. We are the association. We are the association. We are commissioners. We're 800 plus strong. And I can just tell you, I've learned that ACCG has a lot of respect. And we not only have respect in this state, we have respect in this nation. And I've gotten a chance, and I've been blessed as the president, to travel this country with Ross King. And we have our fellow associations throughout the nation that are visiting ACCG, looking at our programs, our services, our products that we have to offer our members. The association will only be relevant if you make it relevant. And it brings great pleasure to my heart when I stand there at these different conferences and when I see my fellow commissioners throughout the whole entire state that comes there and pick up a certificate, picks up a plaque that says, hey, I've done it. And that's important. So don't stop, because it's important. The association needs you. Reach out to Ross King and his staff. We have the best executive director in the nation, no doubt, hands down. Ross King is a great man of vision. He took over in 2010. He's done a tremendous job. We couldn't have asked for a better person at a time when the association was going through transition. Jerry brought us to a point where we needed vision, and Ross has done that. And our staff is there. They are a great source of information for you. Just know, when you have complex issues and situations, you can pick up the phone, and they're just a phone call away. And I can just tell you that through my personal experience, that customer service in ACCG is priority number one. They will call you back. They will give you great information and give you the answer that you need to be effective in order to carry an issue. Do that. And I just want to say, too, as your president, and the first vice president is here, if all the board members please stand. We have my good friend Mike is here tonight. There are others. Is Charlotte here tonight? Yeah, Charlotte from Gwinnett County and others. These are the folks that are your leaders. This man here, great profound respect for him. He's sat on 2 different county boards, Gwinnett County, Dawson County. Can't find a smarter person. Very passionate about what he does. And I know Kathy has told you that most of us, like myself, are supposed to be part-time commissioners by job description, but you will find that that is not true. You might be getting part-time pay, but the position, my good folks, is full-time. And get ready, because it's going to happen. Does that mean you need to put your family on the back burner? No, but it just means that it is what it is. I just know you've signed up to serve. And so reach out to your board of managers, because our future president could be in this very class. Our future board members are going to be coming out of this class. One thing about politics is always a revolving door. It's a fluid process. And we have board members that rotate off, and you being actively engaged means that you want to lead. We have leaders here. I told Ross one of the things I was very excited about was the interaction between the classmates. It's obvious. And that just speaks to the kind of people that this class has. So our future presidents could be here, our board members. It can happen. You just need to make yourself known and get out there and get involved and get engaged in your association, because this is, in fact, your association. And so with that being said, I was asked tonight to also introduce a good friend of ours. Mike Cassidy is the president and CEO of Georgia Research Alliance. And the Georgia Research Alliance is a private nonprofit organization that brings together the state's academic, industry, and government leaders to encourage science and technology-based economic development. This is done by recruiting world-class scholars and helping to launch companies that create high-value, high-tech jobs, and creating partnerships between the state's research universities, such as University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, and others, to create industry to advance discovery. If economic development was not your primary reason for running for office, I bet this is among your top 3 when you ran for office. And so it is my pleasure tonight to introduce to you our good friend and colleague, Mike Cassidy, who's going to give us his perspective on maximizing your community resources for the future. Mike?